Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The video of what happened in Muran'ga is not something that actually should be celebrated in this country. And I want to start by saying, unless we learn our lessons right, we are treading very dangerous path. If we can't learn the lessons, I'm one person, and I think people who follow this channel, I normally get irritated by these incidences of hooliganism. Ni kitu mbaya sana. I really get irritated. I'm talking about Muran'ga. Rigathi Gachagua allies attended a church service in Kigumo, and they successfully attended the church service in Kigumo. They made their speeches there. They were actually live. But on their way back, they were attacked, blocked, and attacked on the road. And this is what I want us to look at. So make sure you watch this podcast, because I want to show you the scenes. And I think it's only this podcast that you'll also get what the other government side of bloggers are saying. And that is going to put us somewhere. What exactly is the monster we are dealing with? It is very bad. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. Thank you very much for supporting this podcast. Subscribe. Subscription is absolutely free. When you subscribe to a channel, you'll be getting notifications when we publish our videos. And that's why I'm urging you to always subscribe to a channel. I want you to look at this video.
What have we done? Kwa nini tusiende hivi? Kwa nini tusiende hivi? Kwa nini tusiende hivi? Umepatiwa instructions by a politician. So what is the problem? Politicians are instructing you. Who has instructed you, and what have we done? So, what have we done? What have we done? Polisi ndio wanafanya hivi. Fanya hivi.
In this video, you're hearing gunshots. These are gunshots. You are seeing the vehicles speeding off. Of course, what happened is they were blocked somewhere. Walikuwa naenda through a direction. I don't know which side, but they were blocked somewhere. Probably they were to make their way to Kigumo. So to make their way to Muran'ga town or something. So you can see them speeding off. You can see Methu, of course, who had to leave, come out of the car and run out into the nearby garden or some thicket there. And the attack was also on the vehicle that was having their sound. And I don't know how someone wants to say, the videos I'm going to show you, the photos I'm going to show you here, are very horrible scenes of what exactly we are getting it, why exactly I feel we are getting it wrong. And surely, I look at that photo, let me tell you, I just want us to look at a couple of photos here. When you look at this photo, you can see 5 police officers. Of course, Beba, some carrying the guns, one carrying a rungu, and a civilian there. If you look at this photo, they're just standing by the road there and they're cocking their guns up there. They're cocking their guns. I don't know for what purpose. Do you know that these leaders, hii convoy haikuwa na crowd. Hii convoy haikuwa na crowd, but they were moving towards a shopping center. So probably in the shopping center, they would have gotten some small crowd there, but not a huge crowd. So this is frame 1. I want us to look at another photo here. This one you can see the leaders imebidi wametoka kwa gari. This is Methu here with a couple of other security details here. Imebidi wametoka kwa gari, wamerushiwa tear gas. If you check here, as in why are you even tear gassing these people? Hakuna hata crowd, no danger. And you can see the kind of how the situation was. Sometimes, hey, it's very difficult to be a politician in the opposition side. We have criminalized someone being in the opposition. Like, if you are not supporting government, you're treated like a terrorist. And this is the kind of politics that I really hoped William Ruto, having gone through this during the last days of course, after his fallout with Uhuru Kenyatta, he was supposed to become a different brand of politician. But of course, mambo ni the same. You can see the tear gas mpaka hii ni gari ya sound. One of the vehicles that was on target ni gari ya sound. And I am not seeing crowd. So one thing I don't understand is why you are even tear gassing watu hapa. And there was even no crowd. Then you can see this confrontation. This is what happened. This police officer was actually was confronting the leaders not to take that direction. Wasiende hapo mbele. And hapo mbele, if you check in the background, you can see it is the nearest center. Mali sasa watu walikuwa wanaelekea. And this officer, full of himself, was actually feeling like they don't need to. Now, hivi ndio ilikuwa blocked na hizi mawe. So this is before they even came. So another work that was done. If you check this, you can see mawe imewekwa na kuna mwananchi. So are we even wrong to say that police ndio waliweka hii mawe? Because huoni mwananchi mnafanya hii kazi. This is not mwananchi. Akiweka mawe, mbona yake mawe inapotee? Unless he's hired to do the work and disappear. Then look at this guy. I've put it black and white kwa sababu ana bleed. Alipigwa hapo kwa kichwa na mawe, putting on a suit. This is someone alikuwa tu kwa hiyo convoy, amepigwa. So I dare ask, is this really the life we want to live? There is this other photo here. Ukiona hii shot, it was targeting the VIP part. Hapo ndio mheshimiwa ukaa. Mtu ameshoot hapo. I don't just know what's wrong with us. What was the intention of the Muran'ga operation targeting the opposition? I am a bit lost in terms of what someone wanted to achieve. Because in my clearest observation, really, it was a reckless move. Now,
you know me. We have worked together before. I was present when you, with your own mouth, said that never again in Kenya shall we shed blood on account of political competition. Now we are back to what you had said. This is blood being shed. If that bullet hit me, Your Excellency, William Ruto, what would you have told my children today? What would you have said? If I was away, if I went down today, William Ruto, is that your happiness, honestly? I think there comes a time when human life becomes more dignified than anything else in this world. It is time for us to sober up. And I want to ask all the investigative agencies, of course we don't trust them at all, but I want to concur with my colleagues that however long it takes, 2 years, 5 years, these people must be brought to account. And what is more even worse is the fact that this operation was actually led by a bodyguard of one of the members of parliament in Muran'ga County. Bodyguard, he's the one who shot my car twice. The video is there. It is absolutely absurd, unacceptable. And if William thinks that he's going to actually cow us down, if anything, he's putting a lot of energy in us. Not only in us, even in our followers. The question is, William.
Let's look at Antonella. I want to read, even Miss Jason, I want to see what they are saying. I wish to express my deep condemnation of actions against orchestrated violence in Muran'ga with a heavy heart and an overwhelming sense of anger. Yes. The chaos and violence we witnessed in Muran'ga, orchestrated by Rigathi Gachagua, Senator Methu, Cleophas Malala, Senator Karunga Dhangwa, John Nyutu, and Honorable Jane Kiara is not just an attack on the stability of Kenya, it is an assault on the very fabric of our nation. Rigathi Gachagua's role in financing and staging this unrest is particularly appealing. So, ile kitu sielewi. Rigathi Gachagua akifinance arrest na hizi zote. Si hao ni polisi wamevaa uniform ya serikali. What is wrong with government bloggers? You know, sometimes you feel like naming and shaming. This is the lady. Let me just show you the photo. This is the lady posting it. Rigathi Gachagua's role in financing and staging this unrest is particularly appealing. It is infuriating to see someone so detached from the suffering of ordinary. I cannot continue reading that nonsense. So, is blaming Rigathi for staging that. So Rigathi paid police in uniform. Come on. Did Rigathi pay police in uniform? The MPs there were not having crowds. So kama walipanga aje. Walilipa polisi wenye wanalipwa na pesa ya serikali. We have a problem as a country. And when I see, and I've been saying this, when I see people making, of course, celebrating this hooliganism, I feel sad for this country that we are not sensitive to the dignity of life. And I want to tell you this. This was someone is feeling unsafe with Methu. You look at the rallies that they had on Saturday in Embu Town and Runyenjes. They pulled numbers. And I think someone is uncomfortable by the fact that in the absence of Rigathi Gachagua, the fellows are doing the Lord's work. But instead of doing this, Rigathi Gachagua is now out of the countries in the US. Why don't Kina Ishungwa just fuel their cars and drive on through to the middle of Muran'ga town, Nyeri, and these towns and hold rallies and tell the people their peace of mind instead of attacking people after attending a church service? Like, what exactly is even the rationale? Ata hawana crowd. Why don't you do your rallies now? Because ordinarily, this is something that cannot be celebrated. And we saw similar incidents in Nakuru when this team were blocked. And I strongly feel that state is catching handball with these actions. Is catching a big handball. We are not careful. And this is my point. Why I feel they are catching handball. Alberto Juang died because of police recklessness. let me tell you, this is the true account. We did this analysis and we read what people are saying and all these affidavits. Ojwang was not supposed to die. And after he was taken to police, in police custody, people were sent to punish him. And people sent to punish him overdid the work. So you look at how a slight mistake plunged the country into chaos. And for just protest, people died. Now that is the same mistake here. You give an order to police to go and make this reckless move, to execute such reckless orders. Na wewe ushoot tu. By mistake, upata umepiga mheshimiwa hapo. I want you to imagine someone shoots and gets the head of Methu. Will you have a country here? Will you have a country? You know, we must be very serious. And this is why I said, I've heard Raila Odinga saying, I helped the country from military takeover because the government was going down. What the Raila Odingas doesn't know, and okay, they know, and in the same spirit, they must also tell the president that we must be careful. Lazima tujichunge. Just because of that Albert Ojwang's issue, people are making their way to State House. Hapa wewe utume polisi. Hii mawe, see it, this stone is a human being that can make a decision, nipige huyu and nipige huyu. Wewe ujikute, Malala and the team are in Muran'ga, your police makes such reckless shot and gets the head of Malala. And Malala is dead in Muran'ga. Will you have a country here? Tuko na mchezo sana. Tuko na mchezo sana. Will you have a country here? Will you step to Kakamega? Even Raila Odinga's ODM bastion in Kakamega, in Western, will it exist? And will this country, I've been saying, we joke a lot. Tunacheza sana. And I've always don't like this issue of mawe, bullet. It irritates. It irritates. Unapiganga, unajikuta umepiga brother yako. Unapiga relative wako. My sister is married in Muran'ga. So wewe useme wewe umeenda huko. And number 2, police brutality has been an issue. And the policemen should also learn. Look at what happened. When Clincy Baraza was killing Boniface Karaoke in Nairobi CBD, the cameras were there. When the will of justice caught up with him, he was in the dock alone. Hata Murkomen walikuwa naita press briefing akisema venye you guys will protect you, was not in the courtroom with Boniface Karaoke. So I think even our security men, our sisters and brothers in uniform, this country belongs to all of us. This country belongs to all of us. You can execute orders because you have to work within the framework of your 50,000, 60,000 salary. And probably that small allowance that Mkubwa will give. But remember, we are all Kenyans. Some of these things, you can also have human judgment. And we are making a mistake. I feel the state is making a mistake because one of the things that William Ruto should be able to handle is police brutality. So that in 2027, this issue of police brutality, it's toned down. But I don't know, I've always don't believe that there are some people within the system. No. It is designed to be that way. Kwani, if it is some people within the system, why did they go to attack Kina Methu? Why Kina Methu? See, politicians were all over the country attending different functions. Why must it be opposition? Rigathi is charging Mount Kenya, and William Ruto continues to do it. And then some people want to celebrate all that. I am glad I am not part of that team that celebrates that. In this podcast, I remember when Sakaja, even William Ruto nisha defend akikuwa William Ruto jago kongo na mawe nisha defend hapa akipigwa na ile kiatu. We said no. Yes, we said no. You can have your difference, but not that. So equal measure. And I don't know. Kwani, why is someone threatened with kina Methu? In fact, it's just showing the weak side. It is weakness and wickedness. If you feel like these people go to Muran'ga town and say one term, if you feel that is what they will do, so you also get someone and say 2 term. Na kama sasa wewe unaogopa kina Methu, unaogopa kina Methu, unatuma polisi wapige kina Methu, and you keep on shouting that campaign haijaanza, I will get done with you people. You will get done with you people, and these are the things that the police are doing. Kindly, come on. We can do better.